YouTube, it's motomattman. How y'all doing? Or how does it go? How you doing? Anyway, today's the day before Memorial Day, and I'm on my way into Chardon to pick up a part for my Taurus. And that's a whole nother video. So this is day 2 of running in to pick up parts for the Taurus. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is Memorial Day. And I saw a post on Facebook from my uncle, who is a Vietnam veteran. And he brought up a really good point. Memorial Day is a day that we honor those that fought and in a lot of cases gave everything, including their lives, for our freedom. It is not a day to celebrate. It's a day to honor and remember. But what his thing was he said, look, on Memorial Day, don't come up to me and say Happy Memorial Day. And to be honest, he's got a really, really good point with that. You know, I never really thought about it before, but it's really not something that is a happy day. It's a day of remembrance. It's a day to remember those that gave the ultimate sacrifice and to thank them and their families for that. Well, to thank the families and to thank those that did serve, I should say, and to remember those that paid the ultimate price. You know, now this Memorial Day, I'll be perfectly honest with you, is going to be a whole lot different than they normally are. Memorial Day for me means really, I guess you could say 3 things. It's the remembrance, the ceremonies, the parades, and so forth for those that paid that price. It's a day that families typically get together and do things like have cookouts and whatnot. You know, so I think of hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. You know, potato chips and pasta salad and potato salad. And I'm not a big fan of eating a potato salad. But coleslaw and all of those kind of things, or as I'm used to saying, just plain old slaw. So it's a day of that, but it's also a day, being one that spent a large portion of their life living in a beach area, whether it be Rhode Island or Virginia Beach. Memorial Day is the opening of the summer. It's the beginning of summer. It's the opening up of the tourist season and all of those kind of things, and it's packed beaches and whatnot. It's making fun of people from other places that have come and invaded our beaches to pretend like they know how to surf or bodyboard, and making fun of them. It's obviously, as a guy, it was always all kinds of tourist girls in their bikinis and whatnot. And back in the day, before they cruised the strip in Virginia Beach, it was cruising the strip every night of the week on our bikes. Occasionally taking out the hot rod, but most of the time on the bikes. That's what I think of when I think of Memorial Day. I think of mainly those 3 things. Obviously, married with kids, not thinking as much about the girls in bikinis at the beach, other than Mrs. Motomattman in a bikini at the beach. And I think my girls will be 57 or 58 years old before they're allowed to wear a bikini at the beach. And yeah, that's the dad coming out. And anyway, wanted to know what y'all do. Memorial Day. I know a lot of people go camping and stuff like that. You know, you get the 3-day weekend. And trust me, when I'm talking about these things, I'm not making light of what the day is really about. Trust me, I'm not. But it does mean those other things. You know, it's the beginning, like I said, the beginning of summer. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. Yeah, I'm wearing the Alpine Stars jacket again today, because it's 76 degrees in Northeast Ohio today. So yeah, buddy. And I know everybody's thinking, ah, big deal, you know. It's supposed to be that temperature the weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Hey, let me tell you something. A couple of years ago, I had to bust out the tractor and put the back blade back on it to plow the driveway, to get the snow off the driveway so we could get out of the driveway Memorial Day weekend. So yeah, here it's still a big deal. In this, at least in this little section in Northeast Ohio, the snow belt. But it means that now you're pretty much, it's that time of year where you can jump on the bike without thinking about it. The only weather concerns you have is it going to rain? And I'll be perfectly honest, yeah, I ride in the rain. I don't like to. I mean, I have some good funny stories of riding in the rain and dumping a boot full of water out inside a Burger King because I had water that was up to my foot pegs. And when I say up to my foot pegs, I was on a dual sport. So you got to figure those foot pegs were, even though I got on a sport type bike, I've got rear sets. The foot pegs on that bike were still higher than the foot pegs are on this bike, and a whole lot higher than the foot pegs would be on my Sportster or any other Harley for that matter. And the water was up over the foot pegs. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then 20 minutes later it stopped raining, and an hour after that the roads were dry. You couldn't even tell it rained, other than the fact that there was still water running into the drainage system, you know, along the side of the road. But anyway, I'm curious as to what y'all do Memorial Day. And to be perfectly honest, I'm, you know, trying not to be dumb here or anything, but does this weekend mean anything to those of you in other places like the UK, you know, to those of you in Australia or New Zealand or Germany or Spain or Portugal or Brazil for that matter? Is this weekend, this last weekend in May, does it mean anything to y'all? Is there any kind of holiday that you guys observe this time of year, this weekend? Got a nod. I'll take a nod. Anyway, just let me know what y'all think. Let me know what your deal is where you are. And if this isn't the weekend, do you have a weekend where you remember those servicemen and women that defended your freedom? You know, do you have anything like that? I mean, other than like an Independence Day kind of thing. I mean, because I'm sure all of y'all know we got that on the 4th of July here, Independence Day. The funny thing with that is, I've heard people ask, when is the 4th of July? You know, because we got a bunch of holidays that are not the same date every year. Memorial Day and Labor Day are not the same date. Thanksgiving's not the same date. But I've had people honestly ask, what's the date for the 4th of July this year? And it takes everything you have not to smack them and then laugh at them, or laugh at them while you smack them. whatever. Because obviously the 4th of July is celebrated on the 4th of July. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm also trying on this little ride to see if I can dial in having all 3 camera angles at the same time on the VFR. I tried doing that on the Sporty and had a little bit of issue with the rear camera. But anyway, coming up here to Advanced Auto Parts. We're gonna go in here. They're supposed to have my part, and I'll catch up with y'all after I come back outside. Okay, everybody, leaving Advance. They had the hoses. Hopefully they fit and they're the right ones. That's something I didn't check, but there's not really any way to check them until I get them home. So hopefully this will fix my issue and I can put my car back out on the road. Going to get green before we get to the red light? No, we ain't. Sucks. But anyway, noticed people out and about today. Bunch of bikes going down my road. We got a really busy road, and it's a road that travels cross country. So there's a lot of traffic, and it's 55 miles an hour, and it leads into Pennsylvania and New York from where I am too. And I'm not very far away from the PA line, so we get a lot of traffic up and down our road. There've been a lot of bikes out, as I'm sure you could see from the little trip that you've been with me on. There've been a bunch of bikes out. I mean, of course, it's a great day. Like I said, temperature is like 76 degrees. Don't have a whole lot of wind. The sun is out. Supposedly there's no threat of rain today. It may actually be warmer than 76, because I want to say it was supposed to go up to 83 today. But anyway, and it feels kind of warm. But anyway, we got things, you know, opening up. Over here to the right, you got this place called King Cone, and they set up what they call their hillbilly drive-through. Normally it's a walk-up deal. You park your car and you walk up, and everybody hangs out there and eats their ice cream. But you can't do that right now, so they set up their road cones and string to make a lane to drive through, and then they've got people walking back and forth from car to car. Ouch! Let's shut this face shield. I was enjoying the breeze. I just got nailed in the cheek by a bug. But anyway, they got somebody walking back and forth to the cars, getting the orders and running the orders in. Kind of like a car hop kind of deal. But you know, like I said, stuff's opening up, restaurants opening up, people are out cutting grass and doing stuff in their yards because it's such a nice day. We're doing a little bit of yard work stuff. I'm working on the car, so I should say actually the girls are doing some yard work. Our 11-year-old is getting her first taste of mowing the yard with a riding lawnmower. Obviously she was given a section of the yard to cut where there's nothing to run into or run over or to tear up. But that's what's going on at our place today. Yesterday, while I was working on the car yesterday, Mrs. Motomattman and the two girls were cleaning horse stalls. And the 11-year-old was perfecting her tractor driving skills, pulling the manure spreader. It's one of those things that it's a little bit different out here where we are than where a lot of people are with things of that sort. Learning to drive. I mean, I learned to drive on a tractor too, and Mrs. Motomattman, same thing, and our girls will too, which will also mean that they will be able to drive a stick, unlike a lot of people today that can't drive a manual transmission car. Because of course both of my girls are learning to ride motorcycles too, dirt bikes, so with that they'll be used to the clutch and shifting. You know, it's just in a car you shift with your hand and clutch with your foot, whereas on a bike you shift with your foot and clutch with your hand. But they're understanding at a young age the concept. And with a tractor, there's not a whole lot of shifting that goes on most of the time. I mean, you could pretty much push in the clutch, put it into the gear you want to be in, and take off in that gear. You know, unlike a car, you're not going to take off in fourth gear from a dead stop in a car. You can do that in a tractor, or on a tractor rather. But she's also learning how to tow things, because of pulling the manure spreader behind the tractor. She's learning how to tow, how to back up, and all of that kind of stuff that a lot of kids don't learn how to do either. Like I said, lots of bikes out. Lots of people without helmets, and lots of people without any kind of gear. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But you're not going to catch me out on the street without a helmet, for daggum sure. And it's rare that you catch me without a jacket on, an armored jacket as well. There have been a few times, and I used to be guilty of not wearing as much protective gear when I was younger. But to be perfectly honest with you, there wasn't a lot of the stuff readily available either when I was younger. But anyway, I'll cut this here again, and I'll catch up with you when I get back on. Hello. I'm hanging in there. Okay. Nope, that's it today. Come on, phone, cooperate. There we go. Do. Okay. Boom. All right. Thank you much. Bye. Okay, we're gonna fit all this in there. Yeah, we are. Somehow, some way, we'll make it work. Been a long time since the last time I saw a silver wing. Okay. Alrighty, everybody. Heading on out. Just had a little conversation with a guy on a 1981 Honda Silverwing. Hadn't seen one of those in forever. And I told him that, and then he asked me to guess the age, and I guessed wrong. I was thinking closer to the mid-80s, so I said 84. He said 81, but he bought it in 80. Bought it brand new in 82. The thing looked like it was in incredible condition. You know, if you didn't know anything about bikes at all and hadn't seen motorcycles in a while, old Honda there too, you'd have probably thought, looking at it, you'd have thought that bike was new or a couple of years old. It was in that good a condition. But anywho, stopped in to get me a Monster, one of the big screw cap jobbies for when I get home, because can't do like I normally do. And that's what I used to do, is I'd stop off at that gas station, and you guys have seen me go there a bunch of times, but I'd stop off there and I'd get just a pop top can of Monster and pick me up a smoky thing refill, and I'd stand there or sit there sometimes, because they used to have a picnic table outside. I'd stand there, sit there, and drink my Monster and puff on my smoky. Whoa! Good old gust of wind got me there just as I was reaching out. Anyway, but can't do that anymore. Or sometimes I'd get a Starbucks or a Monster iced coffee. I do that too, and puff on my smoky thing and suck that down for a nice little refreshment and a caffeine boost. But anyway, luckily everything, the hoses I got and my screw cap Monster all fit in my little bitty, ever so cute little tiny tank bag deal here. Oh my goodness gracious. Pulled off the road, going putt, 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 putt. Didn't think we'd have that as an issue this summer. We have problems with the people pulling off that road back there in the summertime, because that's the road that the local water park is on. And you get a lot of people from outside the area that go there, and then they pull out and they're confused as to where they're supposed to be going and whatnot. And they'll pull out and they'll putt-putt. That, and the fact that most people, to be quite honest, are not used to side roads, country roads, whatever you want to call this, being 55 miles an hour. Now, you know, it's like I said, it's not something that people are used to. Now you go to Texas and they got the farm to market roads, the FMs, and some of those puppies would be 70 miles an hour, a road like this. These people here lose their mind. But anyway, about to head into the house. So I hope everybody enjoyed what they saw. If you did, make sure you click that like and subscribe button, punch the bell, so you get notifications whenever I upload any new content. If you're able to get out on tube, make sure you keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. And as always, hope you have a great weekend, great day. Until next time, see ya!